Welcome back, I'm GamerMage0. Looks like the train is pulling out here. And welcome to Satisfactory. So, I have recently just started up a... Wow, it's getting a little glitchy here, sorry about that. Started up a new series with Subnautica, and I'm redesigning how I'm doing a lot of things here. And something I've been thinking about is this Satisfactory stream has been... or not stream, but series has been going on for quite a while and was completely designed around basically before the last update, before the last two updates, because the last updates brought trains. We just barely got trains going. I've absolutely loved that. And then we also have the vertical conveyor belts, like right here we have, and that really changes everything. To be honest, it was actually the last episode got me thinking, like, the entire way that I'm designing this is so different from how I've been doing things in the past that it's gonna completely redesign how we're doing everything. And so I feel like this series, even though we've kind of just come out to a narrow area and I can keep building, is just kind of worn itself out. We've got over 100 episodes now, and it's been fun, and to be honest, it's been a learning experience for me. It kind of served its purpose, and I'd kind of like to move on from it at the moment. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go through a few tips, tricks, go through a few different areas of the map here. I just want to kind of re-examine a few things, see how they are. We have the spider, that newer spider that has not been fun, and really kind of get an idea of, kind of summarize the series, I guess, is kind of where I'm going with this. So let's go ahead and get started here. So what I'd like to do is just start off by going over towards some of the zones that we know already are walled up. It's got like a, I don't know what I call it, an invisible barrier. That I call it the pain barrier, I guess, or the pain wall. Once you pass it, it starts dealing damage. Look, there's the manta. What we really want to do is... Actually, I'm just going to go back to the old base. I did read thoroughly over the updates. They didn't really add anything over there. I think that would be kind of pointless. Sorry, I'm kind of changing my mind as I'm going here, but we'll run into the train soon enough, and I think it's time I find out if it kills me or not. So, I know later in the game, once they pass a few updates, it's definitely going to do damage, but I think right now, from what I've read, it doesn't really clip into anything, so there's no damage from it. Actually, I should have just caught it right at the beginning of the episode here. Oh well. It's actually really nice that the spider... Whoa. One of the funny things about it glitching out. Okay, it looks like the train is right in there. And I think one of the questions that I had about the train tracks we can pretty much answer now is that it definitely acts like any other buildings do, as far as not allowing creatures to spawn in the area. Though apparently some of the things still stand by the side. That's when we first built the track through here. But yeah, we've got nothing anywhere around here. So this entire track line is safe. Except for from the train, at least eventually. And it glitched. Oh well. Alright, let's see where the train is. It's on its way back now. So as that thing picks up speed, it shouldn't be too much longer. We'll meet it on the beach. See, can't see it yet. I don't know if I should see it yet though. It's about to go into the arch here, way over there. I'm gonna jump up here. We should see it any moment now. Here it comes. Alright, will it do anything? Alright, it does nothing. It went straight through us. Okay. Well, that answers that question. I am absolutely positive that that will not always be the case. It's like technically that's underwater. This is definitely a lot longer than I remember. Of course, going on the train makes everything a lot shorter, so that only makes sense. Alright, we're just about to the conveyor belt here. That'll help speed us up a little bit. Alright, here we go. Looks like the train's parked now. Yep, and it's just starting to turn around, I think. Or it's just finishing parking. Oh no, it's parked now. Oops. Okay. That was not... Okay, so I just opened up the window while I was jetpacking on accident. And then when I came back, I couldn't unjetpack. Alright. Yep. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to a few things here. Now, I initially built this thing as a way around the vertical conveyor belts. I didn't know they were going to come out with vertical conveyor belts at the time. That was just going to be my way to deal with the problem of needing to go pretty much straight up and building a stacking system. So what I would like to do in the next one is kind of like what we were doing over at the other base. You link everything together. So there's a couple of different ways we can go, and this is where the thing is going to where the tips and tricks is going to come in, basically. So right here we have these arching over, and that's been like one of my favorite designs that we've had. So now I'm questioning whether this is still a relevant design. Are we going to continue to do that, or is it going to be easier to basically stack these up on the... I'm pulling it up right now, logistics, there we go, the conveyor pull stackable. There we go. So you pull out the conveyor pull stackable, and then you will stretch these out between two different sides, then put the splitters on them, and then you can put the splitters right where you want them, and if you need to, do the vertical thing down. Now if it's just one up, then this is still, you can still stack them, but then you can just bring it down with a conveyor belt. That's easy enough. It's where it goes up too high that it finally becomes possible, because one up high, it doesn't even fit the vertical conveyor belt. So now a lot of this has created a problem where a lot of the episodes we're just going back and forth trying to find a way to fix bottlenecks. And bottlenecks sometimes were how high tier of a conveyor belt it was, but a lot of times it's because we'd have to come all the way from underneath here, find where it's going up, travel it all the way back over to where it's going, and then come back out again, go up to the next level, and then go back in. And that takes so much time. It also takes so many resources. So all of this right here, complete use of waste of resources at this moment. When I built it, it wasn't like that. And then this was the only way I can deal with trying to find ways to add things on, take things off, and other things like that. So that's going to be completely irrelevant. Now, I tried to do several things like build roads or other things. So the one thing that I'm thinking in any other videos that we do for Satisfactory is we want to pre-plan where our train is going to come through, because that's definitely going to be a big portion of how we get later game resources done. I'm also really thinking about pre-centralizing resource setups. So instead of doing this huge stacking base like I was trying to do, build concrete over here like we were doing, and then ship in the concrete, right? Or go to one of the other resources things and build what we need out of there, the pipes, the bars, the ingots, the whatever it is we want to build out there, and then go there. This was a decent setup because we needed it was easier to ship in the oil and then change them out to whatever 3 different resources they needed to be. So things like that would be fine. But once we get the trains, things like that may not necessarily be the most efficient method anymore. So this is what we're planning on doing in the next series that's going to be coming up. Obviously it's going to take a little bit to even get the trains going, and so trying to race to get the train going is probably going to be the biggest thing, making sure we are ready for whatever it is we're going to do with bringing resources from one location to another. So I'm gonna, after we finish the hub, upgrading it, we're gonna focus on essentially setting up a bunch of mini bases. And that way these things here, which I still love watching, will be helping us get the resources from one location to another. And then we don't have to start worrying about embiggening the inside of our base or trying to increase the production side of an area that we really could run out of room way too easily on. So this right over here was kind of like a small thought of that, because the copper we didn't need to worry about too much, and it didn't really mix with most of our resources at the time. And the very, what would I say, the first 2 to 3 levels of the game, I didn't really have to worry about this that much, maybe first 2 levels of the game. And once I get up to the 3rd level, and that's when I needed to actually start bringing in resources. So doing something like this was perfect. So I think I'm going to keep this episode short today. We're just going to collect our ideas for what we want to do, and I'm going to focus on also editing things instead of doing a huge long drawn out showing you every step of the way. I think this gives you a really good idea of how to do that. But it's going to be a lot more interesting to just kind of get right into the meat of whatever I'm doing on that episode. So I'm going to focus on editing a little bit more now that I've learned how to do that a lot more. So thank you guys very much for watching. Please tell me what you guys think. If you have any of your own thoughts, I'd love to hear them. Any of your own advice or things you like seeing, things you don't like seeing, things whether you like the direction of this video or not. One last thing is that we're going to reduce the amount of videos we're putting out. I've been releasing one every day for over 3 months now. I'm going to bring it down to 2 or 3 videos a week, but it's only going to be once a week per game. So Subnautica is going to get once a week. Satisfactory is only going to get once per week, at least after this. After this week, essentially. And then I'm going to think about what the next game is that we're going to bring into the series. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hit like, subscribe, and again, leave those comments below. Tell me what you guys think. Bye.